So once you've got your clocks out in front of you, we're going to have a go at making some times on our clock face. Okay, and then I'm going to make it on mine so that you can check you've worked it out correctly. Okay, so you can see that I'm annotated to and past on each half of my clock. This means that when my minute hand is on this half of the clock, I'm reading the time as minutes past the hour. Okay, when my minute hand gets to this half of the clock, I'm going to be reading the time as minutes to the next hour. Okay, because we're coming up to the next hour. So past the hour to the next hour. And you'll see that when we start going through some examples. So the first time I'd like you to make on your clock for me, please, is 7 o'clock. You can pause the video now if you need some extra time. So 7 o'clock, we know for o'clock our minute hand is on the 12 and the hour hand should be on 7. 7 o'clock. Let's try 3 o'clock. So our minute hand should be on the 12 for o'clock and our hour hand on the 3. 3 o'clock. Let's try 10:30. So for 10:30, our minute hand goes down to the 6 and our hour hand is at the 10. However, because we are half the way past the hour, we should be halfway between the 10 and the 11. Okay, so we're halfway through the hour, so it sits halfway in the middle. 10:30. Let's have another go with 2:30. So our minute hand is on the 6 to show 2:30. And our hour hand should be halfway between the 2 and the 3. 2:15. Let's try 8:15. So think about your fractions. If we are quarter of the way into the hour, 8:15. Our minute hand should be on the 3 to show 4:15. It's quarter of the clock face. And our hour hand just on the 8. 8:15. Let's try 1:45. 1:45. So this is where our to and our past are helpful. So we already know that our minute hand needs to be somewhere on this half of the clock. If it's 1:45. Our minute hand will be on the 9 to show a quarter of the hour left. 1:45. And our hour hand should be just before the 1, as we're not on 1 o'clock yet, so it's just before it. 1:45. Right, so in our red around the outside, we've got the minutes. And we labelled them in multiples of 5 because we have 60 minutes in an hour and we have 12 numbers around the clock, so 60 divided by 12 was 5. So now we're going to use that to work out 10 past 7. 10 minutes past 7. Pause it if you need some extra thinking time. Our hour hand will be on the 7. And now we need to find 10 minutes. So we know these each mean 1, and then we've got our multiples of 5. 5, 10. You can see the 10 there. 10 minutes past 7. Let's try 20 past 9. Our hour hand just on our 9. And we're on 10, 15, 20. 20 past 9. You can see my hour hand is just off the 9 here, because the hour hand is only bang on the 9 when we're on o'clock. The hour hand is always moving, ready to get to the next hour. So this is 20 past 9. Now let's try 20 to 12. Look at your to and past. Make sure you have those labelled on your clock now. 20 to 12. Okay, so our hour hand is not on the 12 yet, but it's coming up to it. 22. We need to work out where the minute hand would be if it was 22. So I'm going to work backwards. This might be something that you want to try. If it was 12 o'clock, we'd be here. But we want to find 20 minutes before this. So we're going to count backwards in our 5 times tables. 5, 10, 15, 20. That means that's 20 minutes to 12. Let's check. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 to 12. Okay, let's try 10 to 7. 10 minutes to 7. Our hour hand is just before the 7 because remember we're 2, so we're not quite on the hour yet. And we need to find 10 minutes to. So I'm going to count backwards. 5, 10. 10 to 7. Let's just double check. Count backwards. 5, 10. 10 to 12. Okay, so that's how we remember. If our minute hand is on this part, we say past. And if our minute hand is on this part, we are saying to. Okay, really important that we know our 5 times tables in order to be able to practice time. Now I'm going to make a time on my clock, and I want you to see if you can write it down on a piece of paper or in your at-home learning books. Okay. What time have I made on my clock? Pause it if you want some more thinking time. So my minute hand is on this side of the clock, so we know it's 2. How many minutes to? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes to 2. 25 to 2. Well done if you got that correct. Right, what time have I made on my clock? So my hour hand is on the 11 and my minute hand's on the 5. I'm on the past side of the clock, so I am 5 past 11. What time have I made on my clock? My minute hand is on the past side and I am 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes past 9. Okay, so remember the o'clock is your reset point. That is where you count from. Let's try, what time is it on my clock? So my hour hand is just coming up to the 5. My minute hand is on the 2 side, so I am 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to 5. 20 to 5. Well done if you're getting those correct. Don't panic if you're not quite there yet. It takes practice. We're going to improve our fluidity on this and our confidence so that we're ready for our first lesson tomorrow. So what I would like you to spend a bit of time on now is find somebody in your house, okay, that can help you with this activity. They can do what I've done. They can make a time on your clock and you've got to write down what it is. Or they can write down a time or ask you a time and you can make it on the clock. Okay, so switch between those 2 activities that we've just done and see how many you can get correct. Okay, we want to improve that confidence in telling and making the time. Well done everybody, and I will see you for our first proper lesson, Maths No Problem Lesson 1 tomorrow. Goodbye.